This story begins with me alone in a remote anchorage. The lightning destroys a lot of gear, but the real problem is that it puts a hole in the bottom and blows a hole in the bellows of the shaft seal, and water is pouring in. Over the next 2 hours, by madly pumping the bilge and plugging the holes, I get it under control. In the morning, I replace the temporary plug with an epoxy one. But I need to get to a hard stand and fix the damage properly, but the closest one is 50 miles away. On engaging the engine, I hear a distinct clunk in the transmission. Not wanting to do more damage to it, sailing becomes my only real option to get out of here, but there was little wind. 10 days later, and I'm still waiting. But my luck is about to improve since Tropical Storm Etta is forming above me, soon to be a hurricane, and she shall bring wind. So I slowly sail to a better jump-off position and eagerly await the new wind. 18 days later, I finally had the right wind. I upped the anchor and slowly sailed out from the lee of the island. There were no dramas at all, but then... There it goes again! Bugger! Alright, maybe I need to go and check that. I might heave to and go check that out. Heaving to is easy. Basically, one of the ways to heave to is just to go on the other tack and leave the staysail backed and adjust the rudder so the boat will go to windward. The boat can handle this in almost any conditions, and the best part is you can relax and rest and not worry about the boat at all. Let's go about, we'll heave to, and then we'll check. You hear it? It's going off again. See how the staysail's backed? I haven't touched this sail at all since the previous tack. Now all I have to do is fix the wheel about half a turn to starboard. All boats are different, you just have to experiment with your boat. It's definitely trickling down, but nothing that the bilge pump can't handle. It looks fine, unless it's a crafty bugger and leaks more when we're going at speed. Yeah, that'd be right. And to get out of a heave-to position, simply unleash the windward staysail sheet and haul in the normal leeward one. Alright, going about. Now, of course, I'm going the wrong way, so I have to tack back. All right. Daisy, the bungee cord, is excellent, though in heaving to, she forereaches a bit, but you shouldn't hold her adventurous spirit against her. In actuality, it's my fault, having too much main sheet on. But you know, it's easy to blame a piece of rubber. So we need a compass of 290. And then we got to go up 300. That's too much. That's Chichime, East Lemons. There's a channel called Hollandaise. We need to go up there. So that's 290. We'll go 290 because then we'll go close to the reef and then we can bear away. We might get the heady up, eh? Any squalls? Nothing, they're looking beautiful. There's the bilge alarm again. Wow, it's steering really good. sort of annoying me a bit. We're easily doing 6.5, possibly 7. And it's steering a course. All right, we're good. I forgot to put it in reverse gear, so the shaft's been turning and wobbling the bellows, so it's probably been letting in a little bit more water. That's why the bilge alarm's going off. But apart from me steering a little bit, it was steering itself before. Alright, it's probably too far downwind. Well, I think I have to do it now. I'm driving like Miss Daisy, Jesus. I think the autopilot, i.e. the bungee, was doing a better job. I'll just check the bilge every, I don't know, half an hour. I need to trim these sails, these are not balanced. It's trying to go to windward too much. I need to ease the main. Now let's see how Daisy's been going. Daisy's a little off. She wants to go a little bit to windward and head for some reefs. Yeah, well, she still was driving better than me earlier on. Because it's just off the wind, it's a bit hard to use bungee, I gather. But I reckon you should, if it's like the wind's at say 60 to say 80, I reckon it should be quite easy. Well, not easy, but you should be able to trim your sails and adjust your steering, and it should steer itself. But when you're sort of a little bit off the wind, or even on a beam reach, you've got too many waves kicking your ass and trying to send you off course. So anyway, I'm just imagining that. I'm not exactly sure. Well, I've never had to do that before, but I'm obviously going to do it today, so we'll see how we go. So if she's going too much to windward, I've just got to ease the main, basically. So bye-bye, San Blas. I had a great time here. Anyway, it's not buzzing now, so of course it's going to buzz. Shit. Daisy's off course, probably. We are flying. That's 7.5 knots right there. Bye-bye, East Lemons. I didn't go there at all. That's okay. Bye-bye, Chichimi. I didn't go there either. That's Internetsville, people. Daisy's working a charm. She's a little bit off. Daisy doesn't do too badly. I'm surprised. I mean, we get about a minute or 2 minutes, and it just sort of slows down because it starts heading into wind too much. So that's quite impressive. Daisy's not very good with the gusts, but
In all other respects, she's bloody excellent. She doesn't talk back. You know, she follows orders. She doesn't do a very good job, but, you know, there's some positives there, people. Woohoo! We're easily doing 7 now. Unreal, flat ocean, good wind. We should be there early afternoon. I should shut up because the wind's probably going to die. Because this suddenly it'll just be knocked off a bit by the sea breeze that opposes it, and that'll be around 1, 2 and 3 and 4 probably.
"30 minutes later and the wind came in stronger. We were flying along. I'm so glad I epoxied the flap closed, because at this speed we could have been in trouble. Yeah, I reckon it is leaking more as we go fast, but I think the main problem is the float switch. I need to raise it about 2 centimetres to stop it from recycling itself. But I don't want to raise it too much, because then the bilge pump will be always submerged. And I reckon that's a recipe for disaster, because there's a little rubber grommet where the wires go into it, and I reckon that'll leak.
When I helped my friend sail his boat to Lord Howe Island, it's probably only 500 or 600 miles off the New South Wales coast, the whole time we were steering with our feet, because it was miserable weather, raining, it was cold, and we were all rugged up. We had our hands in our pockets, and we just steered with our feet. One of the best trips I've ever had. And what I find is when I stand, I sort of get a pain in my back, but when I'm like this on the beanbag, it's just so easy to steer. I tell you what, when Marguerite said, "Oh, we need to get some beanbags," I went, "Oh, we don't need beanbags." Well, far out. These are the best thing ever. That's a little ladder I put out just in case I fell off near the island. I don't think I'd be able to drag myself off at this speed though. I think I'd be stuck. Well, we're going great guns. We're doing 8.5 knots. I'm just shaving the reef. So the reef's just over there, so we don't actually have much current. The deeper water where all the current is out there, so I don't think we're in any current. So we're going great guns. I can already see our destination, and I've only been sailing for what, 3 or 4 hours, so that's pretty good. East wind, it's far out. No launch is going to come out and get me, so I'm just going to have to do tiny little tacks and get all the way in, and hopefully get a ride. Hopefully they have a launcher. I know they got a dinghy service, but I don't know if they got a launcher to tow me in. But I'll just have to sail in as best as I can. But far out, these winds are just getting stronger.
I'm getting the dinghy ready if I have a big distance to tugboat freedom in. And then as soon as I got close, the wind started to die. Like a Hollywood ending, people. We sailed to within only 200 metres of the marina, but there was no launcher service to tow us in, and it was a tight channel to go through to the marina. So I turned on the motor and idled all the way. The knocking was still there. There it is. Buggered if I knew what it was, but it didn't matter anymore. I was there with all the help I needed. Let's rewind a bit here because this is important. I think this is the best lift setup I have ever seen. It's articulated here to handle changes of gradient on the boat ramp, and these hydraulic legs go up to 2.25 metres, handling up to 20 tonne, and big catamarans too. But the best features are the supports. HDPE skin, fully cushioned with foam rubber underneath, these are fully articulated, giving the best possible contact, and no damage to the paint job. This is from a sling from a conventional travel lift. The damage goes fully round the hull. This is the rear and this is the front. Bottom paint is rubbed off and the surface isn't smooth, making it easier for marine growth to grow. And these are the marks from the pads. Completely smooth and no damage at all. Anyway, the boat is up out of the water and now it is down on the ground. It can't sink now. G'day people, going to have to be quick because it's probably going to start raining soon. I mean, wow, I didn't know there could be so much rain. For 3 weeks, would have solved all of Australia's drought problems forever. My God, I didn't know it could rain so much. I am still on the hard stand, would you believe? I'm still waiting for a part. I mean, hopefully by the time this airs on YouTube, I would have got the part and I'd be in the water and on my way to see Margarita. Hasn't been the most efficient usage of the hard stand time because I've been sick for almost 3 weeks. I've been run down, headaches, and look, I got done by a hell of a lot of mosquitoes, and then I don't know what happened. So I got behind with videos. I'm sorry about that. So this is just to explain that what we're going to do is this series is finished, you know, that crisis is over, and then we're going to go back to the ordinary old chronology, back to the Caymans, episode 268 for next week. That'll give me a bit of a breather because I just need a break. And because those videos are already done, so I just have to schedule it and then it'll go through, and then it'll go to the Cuban series, and it's a spoiler alert. Well, Caymans, and then it'll follow on from there. So what's been happening? So I've got to see Margarita. I'm still stuck here. I'm still forging ahead with my mind, forging ahead with trying to do the Pacific and getting that sorted. Thanks to you wonderful people. We're out of the quagmire. I mean, things aren't still rosy, things aren't going to work, but the boat's going to float. That's the main thing. It's good. The boat will float, I think. And and then over the next 2 or 3 months before I go to the Pacific, I can sort out all the other stuff, hopefully. So that's good. So it'll give me we run with the Cayman Island series, it'll give me a bit of breather, and when I go see Margarita, I won't have to do 70 or 80 hours. It just takes such a long time, people. You have no idea. Oh my God. Yeah, so I can spend some time with Margarita, and we can sort everything out. Okay. So as I said, I'm forging ahead, even though it might look hopeless, and some people have said maybe you should go the following year. No, you know, sometimes it's good to be a bit stupid, because when you're a bit stupid, as I am, as no doubt I've seen from some of the comments, you're so stupid you don't realise when you've been beaten, so you just keep on ploughing along, keep on going. So
that's in my head. That's sort of driving me. And it's good to have a goal, isn't it? Boat doesn't sink. One goal. That's a good goal. And to keep on with the plans for the South Pacific. So that's the situation at the moment. Okay. Now, it is Christmas time, so I know I seem like in a funny mood, but you know when you get to the point, I'm not drunk or anything. I think if I drank alcohol now with so lack of sleep and still being a bit sick, it'd kill me. But you know when you get to a point when you don't sleep much and then everything becomes comical? I mean, come on, people. Me not getting this part, I mean, I don't know how the Panamanian people do business. I just don't. I mean, the service is second to all, really. Probably third or fourth to all. So it comes a time when you got to regard things as a joke. You know, laughter is the best medicine. It's definitely the best medicine. Don't, Big Pharma, don't write in and say no. Don't say Viagra is the best medicine because, you know, it does whatever. Although some people that use it would say, yeah, that's better than laughter. Don't write in, and don't cancer people, doctors, don't write in and say 1, 2, 3 hydroxyphenoacetate, hydroxy, whatever is the best medicine. I think they invented the laughter is the best medicine saying in the 16th century when they had leeches, you know, leeches that they used to put on people's bodies to suck all the poisons out. That was the extent of medical knowledge then. So in those days, 400 years ago, laughter was the best medicine because everything was better than the medicine. Anyway, you're trying to look on the light side of this, trying to forge ahead, trying to be positive. Thanks to you guys, that's sort of given me a push along. So, yeah, so I know it's Christmas and we have had some problems and negativities but you know, I'm feeling lucky because Christmas, it's a time of miracles. Could be a miracle. So I think there could be something under the tree. I'm thinking it could be cancer. I know it's a bad joke, people. I shouldn't joke like that, but you know, you know when you think, when all of this stuff goes on, and you think, well, there's got to be another thing just to throw on, It's got to have an icing on the cake, and then when you get the icing, you put a cherry on, and then you have a candle, and then icing sugar. You can keep on throwing, and it weighs you down. So you got to laugh. You have to laugh, even though you want to cry. So you try not to cry. And try not to cry anymore, people. Forging ahead, and it should all be good. So, just to recap, we'll go back to the ordinary chronology, episode 268, and we'll run through there. The videos are going to drop in number, maybe to 2 or 3 per month. I'm sorry about that. I'm thanking you for your consideration. And now, just to understand, I need a breather, I need to just relax and sort things out with Margarita, and then everything, and if I can, I'll try and push more through, but yeah, so that's the situation, okay? Anyway, I think this is going to air before Christmas, so I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I bid you good night, and remember, it's all good until it's not.